Hello to all my lovely subscribers. I hope you are having a nice evening. It's an evening when I'm recording this. So if it's not an evening where you are, then have a good day. Hope it's a nice one. Right. I just came on very quickly to show you that. How stunning is that? And in yellow. Now that is a bit wah, but it's very beautiful. But I will be making a box with this, not today, because I'm going to show you how to make a simple box. Now when I say simple, there is no reinforcement around it whatsoever. So it is a one card all the way round, whereas a reinforced, there you fold the reinforcement into the inside. I'm making a right hash of explaining this. So when you do reinforcement, you have 2 layers of card all the way round, which therefore makes a much stronger box. But for now, we are going to create a simple box, and I will show you how to get around, if the lid is too tight or too loose. I'll tell you how to get around that. Right, so what I'm going to do, if only you could smell these, they are absolutely amazing. I'm going to use that as my present. So the first thing we're going to do is work out the size of the cardstock we need. So we are going to go to about 4.5, because you need to get it in and out properly, by 3 inches. So the best way to do this is to draw it. So we are going to go to, and you don't need to do this on graph paper, it can go onto anything. It can absolutely go onto plain paper. It makes no difference at all if it is card. So that is 3 inches, and that is 4.5. Gonna go up there, 4.5. And then drawing that up. So that is your base. Okay, you probably can't see it, but it's the right size. Just checking myself. Yep. Right, so the depth that we're going to need now, that comes to 1.25. Now that might be too, no, that's okay, we can do that. So that will be 1.25. So you are going to do 1.25. Now I remember when I was trying to learn how to do these, oh, it was such a long time, well, it seems like such a long time, and the lady who was demonstrating it just put, well, add 2 7/8 to 3 5/8, and it just boggled me, and I thought there has to be a simpler way, and I found one. Right, so that's 1.25 all the way around. Sorry, this has taken probably a bit longer, but my hands have been used all day and they're a bit tired. Right, so that I will do it, because you'll understand. Honestly, I promise this should be quite easy, and if it isn't, I can come back and show you again. Right, so ignore that little thingy. Now that is going to be the piece of card you need. So first thing we know is it's 7 by 5.5. So 7 inches, that was 7 inches, wasn't it, by 5.5. Now if you're thinking in centimetres, please, once I've finished this and moved this, I will put up a conversion chart that I made, so you'll be able to do the adjustments quite easily. You can either take a screenshot or print it off if you like. Right, so that is going to be the bottom. That's going to be the base of your box. That sounds better. Right, so we are now going to get the scores. Now this is where it works out easy, because otherwise you're having to do 3/8 and 5/8 and 7/8 here and 1/4 here. So that is going to be 1 1/4. Actually, I should have done that here. Right, so length. I'll ignore that. Score. So that'll be at 1 1/4 inch by 5 3/4. Okay, and then the width will be 1 1/4, of course, by 4 1/4. 4 1/4. Ignore that. So that is the bottom. So that is simple enough. You have your cardstock and there are your score marks. So once we've done that, we then need to decide what we are going to do with the lid, which I'm going to just base, lid. Right, now we are going to do the lid at 1 inch, because we don't necessarily want it to go all the way down to the bottom of the box, because sometimes they can be hard to pull out. So all you're going to change is 1 inch all the way round. So let's take off. Let's do this properly, just in case some people aren't understanding. And we don't want that, do we? No. And then we will do 1 inch. I'm literally doing this bit by bit because I want, like I say, I want anyone to be able to do it. But I will also show you how to get out of a jam when the lid doesn't fit because it's too tight or it's too loose. Ask me how I know how to get out of that one. Yes. We certainly aren't always perfect, no matter how careful we are. And I honestly, truly believe most crafters in their life, no matter how clever they are, have made a hash at least once. Right, so there. So your card stock, so let me just put stock there, will be 6.5 by 5 inches. And we are going to score length and width. Oh, it's getting really basic now. Right, so the length we are obviously going to score at 1 inch and 5.5. We'll see how that turns out. I'm not entirely sure about that. So we are going to do the width, obviously 1 inch by, I would say 4 3/4. Right. Let's see. Fingers crossed. If I could cross them properly. There, fingers crossed. Right, so I'm going to get 2 sheets of paper. And there is my little bit of paper. Right, so we need, let's get that out of the way, 7 by 5.5, 7 by 5.5. Do you know, it wouldn't surprise me if I've got this wrong. 6.5. Oh, that's handy. 6.5 by 5 inch. Right, I'm not entirely sure I've done this right. But if I haven't, you'll never know, because I'll just delete this. Right, so I'm going to keep this out because my scoreboard is in the other room. Right, so this is the larger piece. So I'm going to move that up so I can see my score lines. Right, so this is the base, and we are going to score that at 1. I've taken off my cutter, by the way, because I'm terrible. I can't tell you how many times I've cut this. Right, so that is 1 1/4, and then we are going to go to 5 3/4. And we are going to go to 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. 4 1/4. So that is our base. You see there? Right, now this is the top. So what we're supposed to do is score this at 1 5.5 inch, turn and do 1 3/4. But what I would say is we're going to slightly adjust this, or you can do it at that, because then I can show you how to correct it. But so at 1 inch, if you take this to 1 inch there, can you see that 1 inch? If you just give it a little gap like that, you don't have to, but it just will make the fitting a bit better. Right, so that is there, and the length is 5.5. So 5.5, we are going to do a standard. So we're going to turn over and we're going to do the 1 inch, but just pull it a notch. You don't have to, just give it a little push. Doesn't have to be measured. If you haven't got scoreboards with 1/8 of an inch, you really don't need to worry, lovelies, honestly. So the next one is 4 3/4. Yeah. Do you know, I thought there was something funny about that. So so the width is 5.5. Oop! Not only am I getting it wrong, but I'm also knocking the thing around. 6.5 by 5. That is 6.5 by 5. I'm confused now. I'm really confused. 4 3/4. Right, let's take a chance. Or I am. I'm going to do that I'll take off the 1 inch there, and if it is right, I will change my markings, which is very frustrating. Right, no, it's perfect. So where on earth did I go wrong? Let us see. So the length is 6.5. 6.5 by 5 inches. Yep. So we can't score it at 5.5, you silly person. No, we can. So that's 1 inch off of that. So that should actually be... Oh, I'm ever so sorry. This is making a right hash of it. It is at 4 inches. So, why, oh why, is that not coming up? Oh, it is, look. What silly moo? That's the score line. Right. This really is quite simple. I wonder how many of you were thinking, you've got the wrong score line. And those people that thought that, you should be here doing the tutorial. Right, so you need to score at 1 and 4 inch. I wish I hadn't got that wrong, because now it seems to have made it a bit more awkward. But had I seen the line there and taken it in, and instead of thinking there, that's the card size. They're the score lines. So sorry, but there's your top. And we are gonna just, I will get my bone folder out. Right, so just give them a nice, and the best thing to do is, if you haven't got a bone folder, you can use many things, because you really do want to reinforce those lines. See? You don't have to have a bone folder. You can use a knife, as long as it is a bread knife, otherwise you'll be cutting through it. Right, so here we go. This is where we see if I'm going to be another idiot. So now what I tend to do is, I do it differently from a lot of people, but this is the way, I'm going to show you the way I do it. This box here, now most demonstrators will just notch in there on both sides and then join it, whereas I'll show you what I do. And the only reason I do that is because it will make it stronger. So we are taking a knot, what they call a notch, just a little bit out, and you are going to go straight on that line, just there. Keep that straight. Now, whereas other demonstrators would do the same here, I change it to on that corner. So notch, and again, so, and then we're going to turn it, and we are going to cut straight up against this one, and we are going to take some of that out and take some of that out. Doesn't need to be a massive amount. We're going to turn it and then do that again. There. So that is one, and we are going to do the same to the lid. So notch that in, And the reason why we do that, nearly every one of you will know, but if it's just one person that doesn't know, it's so that the when we tuck this in to there, it will go in flush rather than sticking out. And I will show you right now what I mean. Right, so if we do go down that line, always keep that, and then you fold it in. See, it leaves a horrible lip. So that's why we do it. Oop. Probably didn't need to be that big. I needed to go down there a bit. Right, so once you've done that to all of your corners, I am going to use, because this is only a demonstration, I'm not going to be using this. When you do this, you are going to need to put the adhesive on top of the box, on top of that tab, so that when we fold it in, it will stick. And I'm not patronising you, but I'm going to do all of them while I'm there. But I'm always of the belief that if you show someone how to do something, you should explain why, and they'll remember it more. And if I have not explained this well enough, I am happy to redo another one. Right, so we are going to join that up to there and make that as square as possible. And we are going to do the same to there. That's why we keep that one flat. And we are going to go nice and neatly. And then that again. So that is the base of our box. And now for this one, I mean, I wouldn't use snail on a box. Not a chance. If you had fast fuse, which you can't get now, or who is it that does it? I think Tombow do their own version of fuse, but I would always use liquid because it gives you wiggle time. And again, flush, and it's a lot stronger. Now the glue I use is I decant mine into little these with the little bottles. So it's the Cosmic Shimmer glue. It is amazing. I used to buy the art glitter glue from America, but then when I found this Cosmic Shimmer, it's exactly the same. Right, now here we go. There. Now that is a good fit, but we're going to pretend it's not. So if it were too big, I'm just going to show you here. All as you would do is you would cut the same length, obviously, as that. Just pretend that that is the same. It's not. And you'll literally pop them in there, glue it together. No one will ever see it. You will do it to two sides, and if it's still loose, you will do it to them. There, to there. If you wanted to reinforce them, you can do strips all the way around, but I can also I will show you how to do the reinforced one next. So now we are going to pretend that this is too small, sorry. So you are obviously going to have tabs on this, that you folded in and you have seen that it's too tight, so you end up doing that. And I think that's logical. Let me clear up some of this rubbish. Sometimes, oh, what I should tell you as well, always make sure you give it a good old, mind you, if you use wet glue, it will do it anyway. Right, so you are now stuck with a box that's too big. So you can now make a feature of this. Now you can take any punches that you have. So I think that is an inch. Yeah. Right, so if you were doing something big, I mean, you could use a fancy one like that, but I just haven't got, no. Right, so what you are going to do is get a different coloured stock, or white if you wanted, but it will just look nice. It will look like a feature if I do it in a coloured thingy. You know what a thingy is, don't you? Yeah. I'm only going to do, oh, I might as well do it. I can use this card up anyway. So the way around this is, let's clear this out of the way, and I'm going to just move that out of the way as well, and that, because no one wants to see that. So what you are going to do is fold these in half. Oh. Fold them in half and in half again. Now you will make a much better job of that than I did. I think we might need the larger one, but let's see. Oh, that one went well. Oh, come on. Right, and then we're going to fold that one in. I'm going to just take that off screen a minute, and I'm just going to do the same on all 4 of them, and they are all going to be done the same way. So now you can see there got little crosses in. Yeah, you can see that way. What you're going to do is take one of those quarters out. So you're left with a Pac-Man. A lot of you are too young to know what that is. And you are going to not get stressy like I am. I have done the size isn't good enough. Let's just do one bigger one. 1 1/4. And I can just show you one. And I'm just going to do that off screen. I'm literally just folding them exactly the same way as I did there. Okay, so here we have the quarters. I do so love this colour. And we are going to again make our Pac-Man. And we are going to, this is where we're going to make our minor adjustments. So that is going to go on the top. No, it isn't. Silly moo. I've done it wrong. Oh, no, I haven't done it wrong. Again, that's too small. What am I doing? It needs to be a bigger one. It is a bit of trial and error, to be honest. Because, and I'm not bragging, I don't usually make such a hash of things when it comes to boxes. Right, let's try again. I should have had all this ready. I do apologise, but to be honest, right, so we're going to take out a quarter. I'm just going to do that off screen a minute. There we go. And we are going to join them up like so. So I need to get me little glue because we do want wiggle room. Where's my one that I'm using at the moment? Ah, there. Right, so we're going to put glue down on all of them. This dries clear and matte, which is absolutely fab. It's really strong as well. Right, so we are going to line that up with that box. You see, it's flush there. And we are going to line that up with that one. But we are going to leave just a slither of a gap and then glue that. Okay, you'll do it better than me because you'll spend your time, and to be honest, you would have spun that around so that the join was on there. Okay, might as well. So what I will do is, I'm not going to do it all because that will bore the panties off you, but that is how you will get round having a too tight fitting top. Just make sure you leave a gap. You don't want to leave it on, you know, big gap, or you can leave big gaps, but I would always try to do one side and then trial how much that those two need to be adjusted. And I think it looks kind of sweet. It's almost worth making a hash of things, and that's what it would look like. You can do that in any colour. I think if you do it as opposing colours, it looks like you intended to do it and not cover up a mistake. So, I mean, that did fit. So, but if it didn't, you will end up with all four corners like that, and someone would think you spent a long time doing it. Right, so apart from I wonder how many of you were thinking, that's not where she needs to score, that is. So, but to be honest, that is the process. That is how you will make it. You will work off your little diagram that you've got from there. I hope it makes it. It's because you've got it there right in front of you, and you can see it, and you can measure your score lines, and you know how big your card needs to be. I think that makes quite an easy learn. Now, if you don't get that, believe me, that is not you, it's the way I have taught you. So if it confuses you, I am more than happy to come back and do it again. There's no such thing as a silly person. You can only have bad teachers. That's what I say. Right, now, this is my rather ratty centimetres to inches. So, I think, which way is better? Right, so what I'll do is I'll just hold that there, and you can always do a screenshot, and then I'm going to go from there to there. Okay, don't hurt my, oh, I meant to laminate these. This is completely my fault. Or if that's easier. Right, so I do hope my little mistake with the score line didn't make that too difficult, but that is how you can fix a box that is too tight, and if it's too loose, reinforce here. If you're not confident on doing a reinforced box, I can show you how to do those, and because you've gone past this, you will more than understand it. So I hope that hasn't confused you. I hope actually physically seeing how you will work it out, I hope that's helped. If it hasn't, please let me know. I will do one again. And I certainly don't mind doing it again and again. Like I said, there's no such thing as a bad pupil. There's only bad teachers. And I don't want to be a bad teacher. So anyway, my wonderful, wonderful friends, I'm going to sign off now. And I am going to start preparing for the baby album, which everyone seems to want to do, step by step. You unfortunate people, you're going to have me for hours. I will break it down into bite size. But I really hope it's going to be good. I'm excited to do this because I'm doing something completely different. Anyhow, let's curb this enthusiasm and I will bid you a good evening. I hope you have a good rest of the day. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me, and I always appreciate your comments. I always appreciate a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. There will be people that will do a thumbs down, but it's the thumbs up I love to see. They always counteract the down. Please subscribe if you haven't, and if you see something that you think, oh, I fancy a go at that, let me know and I can work out a way to do it. If you find that you really didn't understand this, I will do one again. Like I said, only bad teachers. Right, it's been lovely crafting with you, and I want to give each one of you as a mega hug. I wish I could, so I'm sending you a mental hug, and I will catch you tomorrow with the start of a baby album. Take care, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.